Hi again, everybody. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is the Good Timekeeping Show with Greg Anderson. And sometimes my videos start with this phrase, "Hey, I was at Walmart the other day and I found this watch." Because that's what happened. I was looking for another watch that I've already reviewed, and I saw this one on the shelf. Now, this is a solar-powered Diver Style watch, which is very nice. The 3 analog hands and the little date window there. So very nice. I would say this is kind of one of the closest watches we're going to get to a solar-powered Duro watch. So there's the ever popular Casio Duro. Everybody likes this one. 3 analog hands plus a date window. And here's a solar-powered version of it. Now, whereas the Duro has this nice, heavy, and and sturdy feeling case, and a bezel that actually rotates. You know, this one rotates too. It doesn't ratchet like that, and you can turn it both directions. And actually, this one is really easy to turn, too easy, I would say. If you're relying on this to time anything, it's very easy to just bump this and accidentally push it out of the way to to where you don't want it to be. But hey, for the price and for what it does and how affordable it is, I think we're doing okay on this. But I still think maybe one day Casio would do the solar powered Duro. Oh, they got something. Look at this one, similar. Okay, this one's solar powered and it's metal, and it looks really nice. It has the day and date window instead of just the date. And but the thing about this one is that bezel does not actually rotate. So, people are going to say, come on, Casio, can't you just get it right? The Duro, I think they've gotten a lot right on the Duro. But if you're looking for solar powered, this is close. But if you insist on an actual rotating bezel, you're not going to get that there. And if you're insisting on a good metal case, you're not going to get that on this one either. But I'm going to focus on this anyway because I like it. In fact, I got one a long time ago, over a year ago, that's the same model, but just in a different color. And so I decided to get this one. So it's the MRW-S310H-9BV. That one with the gold here is the BV model. And this is a different model, but same module. It's right here, module 5330. And pretty easy, pretty simple. I can't really say much more about it. It's 100 meter water resistant. You see what it looks like. Let's look at the back of it here. And it's got the kind of the typical stamped metal back that's held on by 4 screws. And with this solar powered thing going on there, you might never open this thing up to look inside. You don't have to. But there it tells you stainless steel back, 10 bar. And, what's not to like about this? Now, this one at Walmart, the typical price was $39.92. It was on clearance for just $25. And when I saw it, I thought that it was stopped. The hands weren't moving. I thought, oh, they're putting it on clearance because the battery went dead. Because sitting there in the display case at Walmart, it didn't get enough light. But what actually happened was the crown was pulled out and there was a little piece of plastic holding it out to stop it from moving so that it would not drain the battery while it was on display. So when I thought it was a dead battery when I bought it, I thought I'm going to have to take this out and leave it in the sun for a couple hours to get it going. And all I had to do was take that little clip out of there and push the crown back in. And it worked just fine. And there it is. If this does actually start to get too low, the low battery indicator is that the second hand, instead of ticking every second like it's doing right now, it will double tick every 2 seconds. So if you see that behavior, that means you should get this out in the sun a little bit, just charge it up, give it good, nice, bright light to charge up that battery, and then you'll be good to go for a long, long time. According to the manual, this will go for 3 months on a full charge. So if you want to leave it in a drawer for 3 months after it's fully charged, I guess it will still be running after 3 months. But again, these rechargeable watches like this, they do well if you keep them well charged. Don't put them in drawers for months at a time. Give them a good charge. If you're not going to wear it, leave it on the shelf. Leave it somewhere where it's going to get some light don't stick it in a dark drawer for 3 months and drain that battery. That if you do that over and over again, it's not going to last as long as if you just keep it topped off. So that's a fair warning there. It should be accurate to within 20 seconds a month, they say. And well, we'll see how that goes. So let's just give you a quick run through here. Now, right now, it's almost 12 o'clock, okay? And I don't know if that's AM or PM. Well, I do, but let's say I didn't know. So I just pulled the crown out, and now I've stopped the watch. The crown has 3 positions. Pushed in all the way, you can pull it out 1 click, and if you do that, you can adjust the date without affecting the analog hands. And if you pull it out a 2nd click, then you can adjust the hands, and the 2nd hand will stop. So one thing I might try to do here is I'm going to get this to where the 2nd hand is straight up 12 o'clock, pointing up at the 12 o'clock position. And then I'll pull this crown all the way out and stop the 2nd hand. Then I'll adjust the other hands to set the time on this one. So let's just do that right now. All right, so now I've stopped it. And, well, you can see that as this passes the 12 in either direction, it's not affecting the date. So actually that means I've just gone from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. So what I can do then, now I know this is showing me p.m. hours. If I keep going around and around like this, then eventually, okay, it just advanced the date. So now I know it went from p.m. back to a.m. now, and I can keep going around like this. And if I wanted to keep doing this until this gets to the right date, I guess I could keep doing that. But instead, I'm going to say that the actual time of day right now is just about, well, it's coming up on 11:47 a.m. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this a little bit farther than that and then pull it back, about 5 minutes to where it is sitting right at 11:47, and according to this watch here, it's going to be 11:47 and 0 seconds in less than a minute from now. So if I want to, I can wait until that happens, and then all I have to do is push this crown back in, and that will start the time ticking, at the right time, and then I just have to adjust the date accordingly. So, let's wait a moment, and we'll do that. Tell you what, I'll just synchronize it with this other one right here. So as soon as that gets up to the right position. Okay, maybe not perfect, but close enough for the purpose of this demonstration. So now it's running, but maybe the date is not right. Now, they warn you that you're not supposed to adjust the date between the hours of maybe between 9 p.m. and say 2 or 3 a.m. So during those hours when the watch itself is trying to advance the date, maybe you shouldn't bother it. But since I know that this is, we're looking at morning and early afternoon, I know that I'm not interfering at the watch trying to set its own date. So what I can do right now is I can just pull this out 1 click, okay? And then when I turn this counterclockwise, then it will advance the date. And I know that today's actual date is the 22nd. So if I just do that, I'm good to go. And there, I can now just use this watch, trouble-free. The only time I might have to reset the time is when we do the switch for daylight saving time, or maybe more often than that if I find that it's not quite as accurate as I want it to be. If it really is 20 seconds off at the end of a month, then I can just take a moment and stop the 2nd hand and adjust everything to make it right again. But otherwise, if you want to just leave it as is, then you can, you'll still have to adjust the date 5 times a year because, by default, every month it's going to keep advancing all the way to 31 and then back to 1. But there are 5 months of the year that do not have 31 days. So that's at the end of February and April and June and September and November. Then you'll just go ahead and advance that as needed to get into the next month and have the correct date. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. There's not much more I can tell you about this watch. Well, the crystal here is not very well protected. It's a flat crystal there and almost it's just a little bit of protection where this bezel sticks out farther than the crystal, but that's not very much. So I don't expect this crystal to be super strong. It probably could scratch easily. Get yourself some poly watch and you can polish that up if you do get some scratches on there. No big deal. And other than that, just enjoy it. It's one of those very affordable, cheap if you want to say that, but I won't say cheap. I'll just say inexpensive Casio watches. And a lot of value packed into a small package that's going to do you very well. This could be a great starter watch for a young person. Give them a watch that, hey, tells the time great, has the date there. It's tough enough, 100-meter water resistant. Go ahead, go to the beach, go to the pool, go do whatever. This watch will be fine, and even has the rotating bezel you can play with if you instead of like fidget spinners or something, right? So there you go. I recommend this, especially if you can find it for just $25 at your local Walmart store. I did find when I looked this up, this particular color combination is getting a little more difficult to find now anyway. So, you could find either one of these. And maybe at your local Walmart, they still want to charge you $40 for it. But if you see a deal like this, $25, hey, go for it. Nice, fun, basic watch. It's got a pretty good watch band. I think that'll last okay. And if it doesn't, it shouldn't be too hard to remove that and get an exact replacement. Or if you want to start experimenting with other kinds of straps on this, you can do that too. Nice, lightweight, and fun to use. In fact, let's do an official weigh-in. Here we go. It weighs in at 45 grams. Not bad at all compared to like this Casio Duro with all the metal on it. That's going to come in at 92 grams, so just about double compared to a nice little G-Shock Square coming in at 49 grams compared to Casio Duro with a metal bracelet coming in at 137 grams. So, that's a nice, lightweight, comfortable watch there in the low 40s if you're gonna get this one here. Quickly look at, let's look at the lume or glow-in-the-dark material on the hands there. Not spectacular, and again, it's only on the hour and the minute hands. It's not on any of the other markers there on the face. So, it's all right. It's not a great selling point on this watch by any means. Nobody's buying this because they love the lume. And that's all for now, and I hope you'll come back pretty soon. We'll all get together again for another episode of the Good Timekeeping Show.